Hey everybody, my name is Amos. I'm the lead pastor here at the Vineyard Church of Chester Springs, and as we continue our Advent reflections, this week is on the subject of joy. So let's open with prayer, and then we'll read from Psalm 16. Come, Jesus, meet us now, and also we just ask that you would come back, that you would bring your kingdom in its fullness and straighten out all the crooked paths, heal all the broken places, and restore all of creation to your designed beauty. We love you, and we open our hearts up to your love, and today we ask for your joy. Amen. So Psalm 16 is, I just feel like, a psalm that I have overlooked and neglected. It is so rich. And so I'm going to read through it from top to bottom, and then we'll see if I can get through it again and just make some commentary. But I think there's so much of the life of following Jesus and the character of God, and it's just saturated. So let's begin with Psalm 16, verse 1. Keep me safe, O God, for I have come to you for refuge. I said to the Lord, you are my master. Every good thing I have comes from you. The godly people in the land are my true heroes. I take pleasure in them. Troubles multiply for those who chase after other gods. I will not take part in their sacrifices of blood or even speak the names of their gods. Lord, you alone are my inheritance, my cup of blessing. You guard all that is mine. The land you have given me is a pleasant land. What a wonderful inheritance. I will bless the Lord who guides me. Even at night, my heart instructs me. I know the Lord is always with me. I will not be shaken, for he is right beside me. No wonder my heart is glad and I rejoice. My body rests in safety, for you will not leave my soul among the dead, or allow your Holy One to rot in the grave. You will show me the way of life, granting me the joy of your presence and the pleasure of living with you forever. Wow. Okay, let me just first say a word about joy. Joy includes this exuberant exclamation, the feeling of happiness that we all long for and desire. But I think it's more than that. I think joy is also to enjoy. And so in Philippians 4, we hear Paul say, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. And I don't think that means walk around like happy and laughing all the time. Again, joy includes that. But I think it just makes more sense to me if you connect that to the idea of enjoy, and specifically to enjoy God and what he does and what he gives. And so I want to read just in that line a definition of Christian hedonism. This is an idea or an approach to understanding the Christian life from John Piper. I know that he can be a controversial subject or person, but I think this is really his contribution to Christian thought and to my life too. But remember that hedonism is not a Christian word. It's actually a secular, or even can be a pagan word that just means the pursuit of delight and pleasure. But when you add the word Christian in front of it, it really changes the meaning. So here's what he would say. Christian hedonism, the Christian pursuit of pleasure, is the conviction that God's ultimate goal in this world, his glory, and our deepest desire to be happy are one and the same, because God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in him. Not only is God the supreme source of satisfaction for the human soul, but God himself is glorified by our being satisfied in him. Therefore, our pursuit of joy in him is essential. So not optional, not drudgery, not I'm only doing this out of duty, but the pursuit of joy in him is essential. Christian hedonism claims that the Christian life should be the pursuit of maximum joy in God. Joy both in quality and quantity, fullness of joy and joy forevermore, which is something we read here in Psalm 16. Fullness of joy and joy forevermore are found only in him. And so one more time, just to quote this line again, Christian hedonism is the conviction that God's glory and our happiness are one and the same, because God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in him. And so I don't have a ton of time to reread this passage, but finding safety in God, declaring him master or Lord above all, and saying, you are my inheritance, and to enjoy his presence is at the heart of this psalm. But he goes on and explains two other places. So he says, basically, my joy is found in you alone, my inheritance is in you alone, but he also talks about enjoying two other things. First of all, the godly people in the land are my true heroes. I take pleasure in them. And so to take pleasure in your Jesus-following friends, I think is something we need in order to access the source of these friends, the source of this goodness, God himself. So God says, in enjoying your godly friends, I am enjoyed. Assuming that you don't turn those friendships into idols, right? That psalmist goes right into that. Troubles multiply for those who chase after other gods. So if friends take the first place, then they become an idol. And that's easy to do. John Calvin says our hearts are little idol factories, always trying to find things that aren't God to find our joy and satisfaction in. The other place that we enjoy that helps us access our joy in God is he says, the land you have given me is a pleasant land. What a wonderful inheritance. And this doesn't only mean like this plot of space that we might call home, but it's the abundance of the food we eat, the recreation we enjoy, the creation, the nature that we can marvel at. And so finally, let me just read this verse 11 in the NLT one more time and then give a little more literal translation. He says, you will show me the way of life, granting me the joy of your presence and the pleasures of living with you forever. A more literal translation says, you will fill me with the joy of your face. So the idea of having a full joy because of his presence, of gazing into the beauty of his face. And then again, more literally, delight is in your right hand forevermore. And again, just the idea of being with God and being with God forever and having that be the everlasting place of joy. So thanks for joining me today. God bless you and Merry Christmas.